Starting an LLC in New York? Great. But before you get too excited, there's a unique requirement you need to know about. It's called the LLC publication requirement, and ignoring it could cost you big time. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to avoid this pitfall and keep your business in good standing. I'll break down everything for you, what it is, why it matters, and how to handle it without stress. So, what's the publication requirement all about? Well, New York State wants you to announce your new LLC in local newspapers. It's like telling your neighbors you've moved in, but with more paperwork. You've got to do this within 120 days of forming your LLC, or you could run into some serious problems. Now, why is it so important? Well, it keeps your business in good standing with the state. And trust me, you want that. It's necessary for all kinds of business stuff you will need to do later. If you don't do it, your LLC could get suspended. That's bad news, but don't worry, I'll show you how to avoid that. And to help you get started, I've put together a free LLC guide that you can download now at llcblueprint.com/free guide. Plus, if you're ready to set up your LLC, I highly recommend Northwest Registered Agents. They'll handle everything for just $39. And for your convenience, I put all the links down in the description of this video. So go ahead and check them out. Now, before we move on, please know that I earn a small commission if you choose to shop through my affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything extra and it helps me support my channel. So let's get started. All right, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of New York's LLC publication requirement. You might be wondering, why on earth does New York want me to announce my business in newspapers? Well, it's more than just old school paperwork. This quirky requirement could actually benefit your business in ways you might not expect. Now, here's the deal. When you form an LLC in New York, you've got to publish a notice in 2 local newspapers for 6 consecutive weeks. And you can't drag your feet on this one. The clock starts ticking as soon as you file your articles of organization, and you've got 120 days to get it done. Now, what exactly do you need to include in this notice? It's not just a, hey, we're open for business kind of thing. You'll need to provide some key details about your LLC. We're talking about your LLC's name, the date you filed your articles of organization, the county where you registered, your business address, what your LLC does, and who your registered agent is. It's like a business birth announcement, but with more legal jargon. So you might be thinking, okay, but why does New York care so much about this? Well, it's all about transparency and accountability. The state wants to make sure the public knows about new businesses popping up. It's their way of keeping things above board and giving people a chance to know who they're dealing with. And here's something you might not know. This isn't just for your standard LLC. If you're setting up a professional limited liability company, PLLC, a limited liability partnership, LLP, or a limited partnership, an LP, you're in the same boat. Everyone's got to play by these rules. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a hassle. Why should I care? Well, here's the thing. Understanding these details puts you ahead of many new business owners. You'd be surprised how many people stumble on this step and end up with problems with the state. By getting this right, you are not just checking a box. You're setting your business up for success from day one. You're showing potential partners, clients, and even competitors that you know your stuff and you're serious about doing things right. And here's a little secret. This requirement can actually work in your favor. Think about it. You're getting your business name out there in print for 6 whole weeks. That's free advertising, my friend. In a world where every bit of exposure counts, this could be your first step in building brand awareness. Plus, it gives your business a sense of legitimacy right from the start. When people see your LLC announcement in the paper, it adds a layer of credibility. It shows you're not just some fly-by-night operation, but a real, established business that's following all the rules. So while it might seem like a pain at first, this publication requirement is more than just red tape. It's a chance to announce your arrival on the business scene, build trust with potential customers, and start your LLC off on the right foot. Now, you might be thinking, what's the worst that could happen if I don't publish? Well, let me tell you, the consequences go far beyond a slap on the wrist. Your LLC could face some serious roadblocks that could derail your business plans. Let's talk about what's really at stake if you decide to skip the publication requirements. First off, if you don't meet this obligation within 120 days of filing your articles of organization, your LLC could be suspended. That's right, suspended. But what does that actually mean for your business? Well, for starters, a suspended LLC loses its ability to file lawsuits in New York courts. Imagine you've got a client who won't pay, or a supplier who's breached a contract. Without the ability to take legal action, you're basically left powerless to protect your business interests. That's not a position any smart business owner wants to be in. But it doesn't stop there. A suspended LLC also can obtain a certificate under seal, which you might know as a certificate of good standing. This document is often required when you're trying to do things like open a business bank account, apply for loans, or even expand your business to other states. Without it, you can find yourself stuck, unable to grow, or manage your business effectively. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Even if your LLC gets suspended, your internal agreements and liability protections stay intact. That means that you're still protected from personal liability for business debts. But don't let that fool you into thinking non-compliance is no big deal. The real impact of non-compliance goes beyond just legal consequences. It can seriously damage your business's credibility. Think about it. When potential partners, clients, or lenders find out you haven't met your legal obligations, what do you think that says about your business? It could make them think twice about working with you or trusting you with their money. And let's not forget about the practical side of things. If your LLC is suspended, you might have trouble renewing licenses or permits. You could miss out on business opportunities because you can't prove your LLC is in good standing. All of this can add up to lost time, lost money, and a whole lot of headaches. But here's the good news. All of this is completely avoidable. By understanding these risks, you're already ahead of the game. You're in a position to protect your business and keep it in good standing right from the start. So, what's the takeaway here? The publication requirement isn't just some bureaucratic hoop to jump through. It's a crucial step in establishing and maintaining your LLC's legal status in New York. Ignoring it isn't just risky, it's potentially devastating for your business. All right, so we've covered why this matters, but how exactly do you tackle this publication requirement? There's a step-by-step process that can make this whole thing a lot less daunting than it seems. Let's walk through it together, and I'll show you some insider tips that could save you time and money. First things first, you'll need to contact your county clerk's office. They'll give you a list of designated newspapers where you can publish your LLC notice. This is crucial because you can't just pick any newspaper you like. It's got to be from their approved list. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The cost for this can vary a lot depending on which county you're in. We're talking anywhere from $600 all the way up to $2,000. Yeah, I know that's a pretty big range, but don't worry, I've got a trick that might help you save some cash. You see, the trick is that you don't actually have to publish in the county where your LLC is based. You can choose a low-cost county for publication. This is totally legal and can save you hundreds of dollars. It's one of those little-known strategies that can make a big difference to your bottom line. So once you've chosen your newspapers, you'll need to prepare your notice for publication. This isn't just a casual announcement. You need to include some specific information like your LLC's name, the date you filed your articles of organization, your county, business address, what your LLC does, and who your registered agent is. Make sure you've got all these details ready to go. Now, here's where a lot of people get tripped up. After you've published for 6 consecutive weeks, you are not done yet. Each newspaper will give you an affidavit of publication. You need these. They're your proof that you've followed the rules. But wait, there's one more step. You've got to file a certificate of publication with the New York Department of State. This is where you submit those affidavits along with a $50 filing fee. It's like the final seal of approval that says, yep, we did it. Now, I know this might sound like a lot of work, and honestly, it can be. That's why a lot of savvy business owners choose to use a professional service to handle all this. It can save you a ton of time and headaches, especially if you're not familiar with the process. You see, these services know all the ins and outs. They can help you find those low-cost counties I mentioned earlier. They'll handle all the paperwork, deal with all the newspapers, and make sure everything is filed correctly with the state. It's like having an expert guide you through the whole process. And here's something else to consider. Remember how we talked about the tight deadline for this requirement? Well, using a service can help make sure you don't miss that 120-day window. They'll keep everything on track so you don't have to stress about it. So let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot about New York's LLC publication requirement. Remember, it's not just paperwork. It's about keeping your business legit and avoiding big problems down the road. By following these rules, you're setting your LLC up for success. You'll be able to do all the important stuff like getting loans, signing contracts, and taking legal action if you need to. Plus, you're showing everyone that you are serious about your business. Now, if all this seems like a lot to handle, don't worry. There are services out there that can make this whole process a breeze. In fact, I've got a special deal for you guys. Check out the link in the description of this video for Northwest Registered Agent. They'll handle everything for just $39. It's a small price to pay for peace of mind and getting your LLC off to a great start. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.